Hi everyone. In this video I'm going to discuss on how to create web application and deploy it manually without using any IDE like Eclipse and NetBeans. In previous videos I have used the Eclipse IDE to deploy the web application, but if we use IDE we don't know what is happening behind the scenes. So let us start with a hello world servlet and see how to do that process without using IDE. I have created a small picture. First see that every web application should follow a predefined structure. We should follow this structure to deploy the web application onto any server. Okay, this is the web application name. It can be hello world servlet or some hello world project or anything. Web application has a name, right? So internally it should contain a folder called webinf. Okay, and in webinf classes folder should be there. The classes folder contains any compiled all the compiled class files. Okay, just at the root of the web application folder you should have webinf folder. Under webinf folder, when I say dots or slash dashes, it means that these classes should be under webinf folder. Under webinf classes should be there, lib folder should be there, web.xml should be there. Classes folder contains compiled class files. Lib, if we are using any database logic, we have to put that ojdbc.jar or mysql.jar into lib folder. Lib contains all the jar files that are needed by our Java code. Okay, web.xml contains information about servlets, initialization parameters, listeners, etc, etc. Okay, so basically you should have a folder webinf. Under webinf classes folder, lib folder, web.xml. Lib contains jar files, classes contains all compiled class files, web.xml contains all the information about servers, etc. And your JSP pages you can place directly here, or you can create some folders and put them under that folder. If you have several modules, you can split across several folders. If you don't want like that, maybe basically in hello world projects means we do for our learning, we put all the JSP files directly under the web application, but in real-time projects we separate them across folders. That means we will give a meaningful name, like deposits module contains the JSP pages relating to the deposit related functionality, and withdraw folder contains all the JSPs relating to the withdraw functionality. Okay, so basically this is the structure. We are going to create a hello world servlet manually. Let us start. If you see, under web apps, if you take Tomcat, we have to place, after creating a structure like this, we have to place that folder under web apps. And then when you start the server, we have to click on startup. When you click on startup, the Tomcat reads all these web applications and those will be ready. Okay, so command line is one of the web application. You can have n number of web applications, so each one is one web application. If you see the structure, can you see? It should contain webinf. Webinf contains classes. Classes contains your class files. web.xml, and in this hello world servlet I didn't use any jar files, that's why I didn't create. Otherwise we have to create a folder called lib folder, and if you have any JSPs you can directly place here, or you can create some folder here and you can place the JSPs here also. Okay, let us start the creation of hello world. Okay, I'm creating a new folder with the name hello world web app, means hello world web application. This is my web application name. If you see this picture, this web application, right? So I have given name as hello world web app. What we have to do, we have to create web.inf folder. Under web.inf you have to create classes, next lib, if any jars, what I will do is I have created a small example already. I just take that web.xml instead of writing. I don't want to waste the time here. My intention is to show the structure of the web application and how to deploy onto the Tomcat. Okay, I am pasting here. Okay, if you see the web.xml, it contains servlet information for hello world servlet. What we will do is we will create this hello world servlet and compile it, and then we will deploy this application onto Tomcat. Okay, now what we will do, we have to create, I will create one folder called src here, and after compiling I will remove this folder. Source need not be there. Generally in web application, when you deploy onto server, the classes folder contains all the class files. Since we are creating manually, just I am creating the code here, and then I will, after compiling, I will remove this src folder. I have already created the code, that's why I will take from there. Can you see? And that's it. Instead of writing, now I have already created one hello world servlet code. I just copied that. There is nothing complex here. As you know, every servlet extends HTTP servlet. These classes come from package javax.servlet package. Okay, I didn't do much here. I have do get and do post. If you use get HTTP method, this method will be invoked by the service method. If you use post, this method will be invoked. Okay, and now we have to compile this. Go to command prompt. Okay, now we have to compile this hello world servlet. Okay, if you don't have already the path for bin, set that using set path. If you don't know how to do that, let me show you. Set path is equal to percentage path percentage. We have to give the path where your JDK bin. Okay, so now you are ready to compile. And now if I say java c hello world servlet dot java, it will give error, right? It is saying that cannot find symbol, http servlet request, http servlet response, servlet exception, all this, because all these classes are in a jar file called servlet api.jar. We have to set the class path to that jar file. Okay, let us go to Tomcat. In the Tomcat there is a folder called lib folder. In the lib folder there is a jar called servlet api. If you want to see the classes, you can see that. Can you see javax.servlet, the servlet http package? You will have all this http servlet, okay, http session, http servlet request, servlet response. So we have to set class path for this jar file. I will set class path. You have to set class path to resolve this compilation errors. Slash servlet api.jar. Now we will compile. Where is our code? Or this is our thing, right? What we have to do, our classes folder should contain the compiled class. So what I will do is I will compile this class and store that in the classes folder. Can you see this is right now this is empty. I will compile the class into this folder using package statement. Java C -d. -d means it will create the package structure in the specified folder. I will say currently I am in src folder, right? Currently I am here, so the classes folder is one level up, right? So I have to say /classes. That means hello world servlet.java. The meaning of this is compile this hello world servlet.java and store that class file in the classes folder. -d is to specify the location where this class file need to be stored. Okay, can you see? It created the class file in the classes folder. Now everything is ready. Now when you use the IDE, you don't understand what is happening behind the scenes. Generally we have to place this folder in the web apps folder if it is the Tomcat. Okay, can you see? So everything is ready. We have created the web-inf folder. Under web-inf we have the classes folder. Classes contains the compiled class file, right? And then lib folder. If you use jdbc, add ojdbc.jar here, and I will remove this. Since it is, we have to close this to remove this. hello world web app. Now what we have to do is copy this folder, go to your Tomcat. Okay, this is called Tomcat home. Go to web apps, all the web applications will be here, so paste here. Okay, and then restart, start the server. Go to Tomcat home, go to bin, click on startup. Now your Tomcat gets started, and then we will browse the servlet. Means we have to give the URL pattern, then the servlet will be invoked. Now your Tomcat is going to start. It will load all the web applications in the web apps folder. Now our web application name is hello world web app. So what you have to do, you have to give HTTP. Since our Tomcat is in the same system, I am given localhost and then port number. By default it is 8080. In my system I have changed it to 9876, and then I have to give the web application name, and then I have to give the URL pattern. Where is that URL pattern? You know, right? In the web.xml. Tomcat is started. So to invoke this hello world servlet, we have to use the URL pattern /hs, because we have configured /hs as the URL pattern. And then let us open another browser, because I want to show in a new browser. Can you see? That's it. Everything is done. Hello world servlet is deployed. So this is, we have to know this structure in real time. If you get any issues, if you don't know this structure, it will be difficult to find out the errors. So if you get any error, you may go to classes, or if any jar problem, you can go to lib and add that. And if any class files are missing, you can check here. Okay, you have to check here. That's why I have created this video, and in this video I will show you another thing, how to change the default port number. You can go to folder called conf, go to edit the server.xml. If by default it will be 8080, can you see? By default here the value will be 8080. If some other thing like Oracle is running on the same port, your Tomcat won't start. Then what you have to do is you have to go to the conf folder in the Tomcat and edit the server.xml and modify. Can you see this connector element? By default the value will be 8080. Search with 8080 and modify that value to the port which you want. Don't use ports under 1024 because they are dedicated for some purpose. So give something like 5000 or above that. Okay, I have given 9876. So my server starts on 9876. Can you see this? 9876. Hope you understand how to manually create and deploy web application into Tomcat. Thank you.